Hey, 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 hey. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Triple J here tonight on the Three Bells podcast. Everybody, we had a great roadblock tonight. My guys, how are y'all doing on that other end? Des, Shane, wow, what a night. Man, I enjoyed everything tonight. What's going on?
Yo, yo, yo. Yeah. It's your boy Mundo. As always, what's good? What up? What a night for NXT tonight. Roadblock. Wow. All we needed was no commercials, and I would have been satisfied with this PLE. What's going on with you, Shane?
What's going on, fellas? What's good, everybody? It's me. It's your homie, Shane O'Mac, coming to you live from the East New York section of the Three Bells podcast table. What a night we had tonight. There was a whole lot of backstage footage. Actually, a lot of matches, and we got a whole lot of stuff to talk about, including the highly anticipated return of our homie. We're going to talk about all of that tonight. Jay, what's good, baby?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? What a night we had tonight on our hands. Man, Lexus King opened it up, talked his talk, let us know what's going to be going on tonight. I thought that was pretty hot to, start off the show. And man, it led us right into our first match. Like,
I
boys.
feel like you're forgetting something, though. Like, what?
Oh, the Three
Something.
Bells.
Des.
Two shows in a row. What's up?
You the man.
2 shows in a row. Hey, come on now.
That's not my fault. I don't got the audio for it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. This is what happens when you do NXT. This is minor league work right here. We don't get everything in the minor leagues. The
Okay.
over here. But already, you look at this already. This shit. No, we didn't even start. Oh God, guys, we got the first match literally straight off the rip. Something that I really like to see. Screw all the talk and let's just start wrestling. And we got our asylum match, guys. Very interesting. I liked it. Outcome was wild. You know, I just I just want to ask you guys what were your thoughts on the entirety of the fight, and you know, do you feel the right person won? Shane, I'm gonna start with you, then Des to follow.
I like this match. I always like it when these two, Dijaks and Mr. Gacy, goes at it. Again, I got to get used to this whole upside down camera thing that they do once they introduce Gacy. I guess that's his thing, which is that knockout, happy emoji, whatever guy upside down. So I guess they was matching that, which is very Disney to me. Even the fact I even haven't a drink yet and you already turned the camera upside down. You're seasick. But it was cool to see. It was cool to see this match. When dude opened the box that said, "Do not open." See, kids, let this be a lesson. When something says do not open, you don't open it. Because what happens? You'll get hit in the nuts. That's what happened when you open a box. Bam, right on the nuts. That was funny. And then Dijax, he did this amazing moonsault from the top of the cage. I thought that was pretty cool. That deserves a 3 bells in my end. Gacy got his head taped up so he couldn't see. Wink, wink. And he did his thing. He held it down, but then Dijak, he did his finisher. He had to do it twice. That's how tough it was to get this guy down. He did his finisher twice, but he managed to win. So I say congratulations, man. Like this, I love this story. This was a good match, even though it wasn't exactly what I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like in a different location or something like that. But the fact that they had all those elements inside the cage in the ring, I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it. Mundo?
Yeah, Shane. When I seen the cage, I was like, okay, so we're having a cage match. But then they were like, no, you can't escape. And then I seen all the accessories that was inside the cage. I was like, all right, this is different. It was funny because one of my friends was actually watching the match with me, and he was like, "Is this Hell in a Cell or something?" I'm like, "No, it's an asylum match." And I was like, "I've never seen one before, so I didn't really know how to explain it." I'm like, "Well, we'll just watch it together and see what happens." And I was pleasantly, I don't want to say surprised because we already seen them face each other before, but I like their energy. I told y'all weeks ago that I'm invested into this story, and yeah, like you said, Shane, that moonsault was fucking awesome. Um, I wrote down that it was a brutal match because it was, but it was just beautiful. It was beautiful brutality. Um, yeah, again, it was just so much going on. I wrote down that uh, Dijak hit Gacy with the feast your eyes, and Gacy got right up after the first one, and then he caught him again with the second one. I was like, yeah, that character, he has to be able to kick out or get right back up from something because it's really, I'm really enjoying his character and character development. Same thing with Dijak. Dijak, bro, when we first saw you, when we first started doing NXT on the podcast, we were not interested at all. We were like, no, but then things just changed, man. Big fan of both of them. Great job tonight, fellas. And to answer your question, Jay, yes, I think Dijak should have won. It just further progresses the story, just like how we had the whole thing with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. We're gonna get a third match, and maybe it'll be at Stand and Deliver, and maybe Gacy will finally get that W that we are long awaiting for. Jay,
Okay, guys, and like before the match even started, there was one thing that I heard that Vic Joseph had announced, and he was like, every single match tonight is going to be seen in its entirety, even when it went through commercials. And I honestly thought that was great that we did not miss not one bit of action. So even if they went with that picture in picture when it went on commercial, great. We seen everything. I loved it. And as far as the match itself, it delivered, but I was just like, man, I wanted a little bit more extra oomph because Gacy, he was doing his thing. Dijak had more of an offensive game this time, and that backflip moonsault that he had did, I was like, yo, that was crazy. And then he throws him through the tables and the doors and everything, and I'm just like, yo, these guys they're wild. This was to me like what when steel cage meets a hardcore match. You know, this was designed well, done well, and it was executed in the right way where it showed both guys' power and what they can do when there's stuff in their hands. And shout out to Mr. Dijak on getting the win. And like you said, Des, we was like, who is he when he came back down here? But a lot of us fans knew him prior to that. I knew him in his first stint in NXT. You probably caught a little bit of him when he was with Mustafa Ali and Mason on Retribution, and that was stale for him. And now that he's kind of found himself after I talked shit about him, I'm happy that he's finally got a role and it's worth it. And us, and it has us fans really, really invested in it, guys. Now I appreciate your, talk about the match and the winner. And right after that, we got Rizzo in the back with the Dawn, and he said he's prepared to turn NXT upside down, so he tells the underboss to go get me Luca, aka another name that we noticed from the NBA ranks. And you know, he was like, the kid's not afraid to get his sleeves, roll up his sleeves and get them dirty, and he wants him to be his consigliere. And Luca accepts to be a part of the family. Now the group has four, three guys, one girl. A lot of these groups are forming. Just keep an eye on that, guys. Also, another segment that came in between that was Fallon Henry talking with Osborne, and Blair Davenport interrupted it because she don't want to hear the shit that she got to say about the little date that Thea Hale had with Osborne. She just wanted to get into it and fight. So they schedule a match for later on, which leads us into match number two.
excuse
Which
me.
what happened, sir?
I just want to say something really quickly. Shane, you remember a few weeks ago when you and I kept complaining about the promos that NXT were doing, and it would just have a whole bunch of people in it, and it was just like, who the hell are these people? Did you notice tonight that in all of these promos that they had backstage, they were actually putting the people's names underneath their characters? You're like, oh, that's who this is, and that's who that is. Great, thanks for letting me know. Did you guys realize that?
Yeah, I noticed that after after the backstage number 3, because just backstage just now he was talking about with the girls, this girl talking about her date, whatever. They didn't show that. They didn't do that either for the first one, unless I missed it. But then moving forward, all the rest of the backstage, I surely did. It had the whole special graphics and everything. So, Des, do you think this is going to be an every week thing, or did they do it just for tonight because it's a quote unquote special PLE?
it needs to be an every week thing because I get so lost, like especially if I'm taking notes, I don't know who the hell is who. And if they don't say the person's name that they're talking to, then I have a promo with no names and just I have to wait until now for when Jay tells us who was who. And I'm just like, oh, okay. It needs to be an every week thing. It helps a lot for a lot of people, especially if you're just getting started with NXT.
You know, there's the two things that I do when I don't know who's who. I either wait for them to come out when they're about to fight and I hear their name and I see their graphic and then I see the little graphic on the TV. And even when I miss all of that, I would go on Twitter under WWE NXT and then I click on the latest so that I can see the latest postings. And a lot of times you will actually get to see the name of the people that's in the promos as well as the people that's in the matches.
That second one would definitely help out a lot. Thank you for that one, Shane.
From what from what I was noticing, they did it here and there last week. You know, maybe about 2 or 3 times. But this week it was definitely more noticeable with the names. But you know, that led us into a match where we had a tag team title match tonight, guys. We had Corbin and Breaker versus Chase U. But before the match came on, Lyra and Tatum Paxley were in the back talking. And you can hear Tatum saying, you know, we got the chance to be more than friends. As I keep telling you guys, I think this is more than what we thinking. I think she really is falling for her, like she really likes her. Keep on saying it because I wrote wink on my paper. So, you know, she was like, we got to win those titles and we got to do anything for them. So yeah, we'll see what happens later on with that outcome. But you
That was
know,
weird.
yes,
That segment was weird as shit. Tatum was really she went really dark out of nowhere, and I was just like, okay, where is all of this coming from? Is that a part? Was that a part of her? Like, is that her character, Jay? Is that like a side of her character that we, like Shane and I, we don't know, or is this something like that's new that they're portraying out of her?
it was something she had before, but she was gone for like a year. So it was like, bro, like where you know you kind of like the newer people like you guys are like, damn, you know, you're seeing all of this now from her, but she's gotten more cuckoo, if you want to say, because she was like rolling with Blair for a second, you know, and
Do you call it cuckoo, or is it just a dark side? I felt more of a dark side to her than anything. Like she's a darker character, but she's portraying a lighter character right now because of Lyra.
I think she's like a witch, a scary witch.
It's possible with
Um,
all the references that WWE's been doing between Marvel and everything of that nature. You know, with the Scarlet and the Valhalla, all that's Marvel. That's Thor and Avengers. So yeah, I can see that.
You know, Jay and Des, I see someone that, yeah, that is a dark character. And you're dark because it's this darkness that embraces you more than anyone. So you embrace this darkness. So now here comes Lyra, who who is showing her some type of interest. And because of that, she's showing interest back to a point where the admiration is so high, to a point where she would do everything and anything in order to please her because of the fact that she pleased her by showing her this attention. So in her world, you know, Lyra is showing her everything, so she wants to return it whenever possible to make her happy. And a lot of times when someone has this huge admiration like this for someone, it could lead or it could give the idea that it could be of a sexual content also. But I don't see that. I just see it as someone that's just willing to like to even die or to even kill for you. Like we've seen that before. Like that is really big. And that just goes to show you how much she really, really likes Lyra and how Lyra has really impacted her.
I like how you put that, Shane. That's actually really, really good. And check us out, Jay. Shane and I engaging on promos. Check us out. Hey.
that just literally dropped my jaw right now. I'm like, what,
You,
Shane?
you know why? Because it comes to a point, you know, I'm at this point now where this is NXT.
Right.
It's been the formula since day one. So instead of just like, you know, huffing and puffing, oh, we go to, you know, promo number 1000 or whatever, we just talk about it and just accept it as part of telling the story. Most of them make sense. Some of them is like, I can use the bathroom, but I understand this format now with the backstage, the interviews, the in-ring interviews, and the matches. You pull all of this together, and look what happened tonight. Look how many matches we had. But then again, look how many backstages we had. Look how many interviews we had within the 2 hour period. We had a jam-packed show. So now I'm keeping an open mind that this is your typical lineup for an NXT show. So I don't complain no more.
Jay, Shane, maybe Triple H needs to take a page out of Shawn Michaels' book on how to run a 2-hour show, and get everybody some screen time still.
Dude, I totally said that when we got up to, I don't know, what was it, backstage number 12? When I wrote that, I said, God damn, they did all of that within a 2-hour period. Like, that's awesome. But yeah, it's just different. It's all just a different, a different vibe, a different culture. And I
Right,
love it.
but they got 6 matches in 2 hours. They just did the same amount of matches basically that you get on Raw. Raw gives you between 6 and 7 matches every week on a 3-hour show. So the fact that they can pull off 6 matches almost weekly, actually, NXT actually does give us about 6-7 matches every week as well, along with the promos. So maybe they need to revisit what they're doing on SmackDown. Maybe a lot of the time that they're giving away is just too much with the promos.
This is true, but then again, you got to realize that the matches on Raw are a little longer as well, and then NXT, you have the picture in picture, so it's kind of like the same, but Raw has more time for the matches to be longer, with longer promos, and then they look back what happened on SmackDown, look what happened on Raw last week. They do a lot of look backs, so you got to put that in consideration also once it comes to Raw.
No, I was actually saying that NXT does a good job as far as matching what Raw does the night before, whereas SmackDown, you see what happened last week. They lost control of the show and basically lost almost a whole entire hour, and now have to reduce the show and try to piece it together for the last hour and 15 minutes. And we were like, wow, this seems really rushed. That's what I'm saying. They need to revisit it. Maybe they really do need to sit with Shawn and see how he gets it done. No shade to Triple H, but yeah, Jay.
Oh my
Not
goodness,
like
are we doing a rock right now by taking over the show? Hello, Jay, how are you?
I am fine. You guys have taken over my show. I love it. I'm sitting back chilled. This is what I've always wanted from the both of you on the show. So, this is the expression, the opinions that I've expected from the both of you guys about this show. Loving it.
And I'm sticking up for NXT. I'm congratulating them on doing what they do. I love it. I really do.
Right, right. And you know what it is that I feel like what they're doing that the other shows ain't doing. I think it's they're giving you the feeling of what it could be for both them shows, for a Raw or for a SmackDown, with the talent that they have in NXT. Like they're basically getting tested down there within that type of an aspect. Can you handle this quick promo? Can you handle this quick fight? Type sense. And you know, you get more eyes to it because now you're evaluating all sorts of talent this week, next week. Well, we didn't see this week. We get to for sure see next week because there was quite a few that I was like, wait a minute, okay, he's not here, she's not here, this tag team's not here. So you kind of see how they do now with the influx of wrestlers that they have within there. So, it's great how they have the stability of the show.
Jerome, if that's you trying to be a co-host, we need you to send some messages out first, because it's 3 bells. We don't just throw people up into the panel with us. You got to interact with us first, message wise, and if and when the host does want to bring in a special co-host, then they will do such. So just letting you know that.
Thank you very much for that, Des. I didn't see that. And basically that leads us into our tag team title match after that nice little, conversation we had about NXT and yeah, this is cool. Wrestling is cool again. Thank you guys. But yeah, we got the Wolf Dogs with their masks on versus Chase Booniversity. And from what I've seen in that match, wow, a lot of wows in that match. And what can I say? The right team won, and Chase you. That's it. I'm done with you guys. But fellas, did you like what you've seen in this match overall? And question 2 would be, do you like Tuesday night version of Braun over Friday night version of Braun? And I'm gonna start that with Dez and then Shane.
I already said it last week on Friday night SmackDown 3 Bells podcast. I don't like the SmackDown version of Braun. It's boring. I mean, the jobber shit is boring, and it's really like completely 2 different characters, because then he's more engaged on Tuesdays and he's more colorful and more exciting. So I do not like the Friday night version of Braun Breaker. But as far as the match, this is only my second time seeing Chase U. And are they the Wolf Dogs? Because they weren't announced as the Wolf Dogs. So we're just, did their graphics say Wolf Dogs? Because I didn't get a chance to see it, but I didn't hear anybody call them that.
They just came out in match. That was about it.
So they're not the Wolf Dogs yet, are they? Because I mean,
And,
you guys were no, because you
Sorry,
guys were the ones saying that you guys want to hear it. You want it to be said so it can be official. So Corbin still hasn't said it yet, even though he told us that he would. And the announcer, she's not calling them that. So But anyway, I was impressed with Chase U. Again, I have a shorter history with them than you do, Jay. So your opinion on them is different from mine because again, I'm not familiar with them. So I was impressed with them. They were putting up a good fight. A few points. The Frankensteiner that we've seen during the commercial break was freaking awesome. No hands, just awesome. I was like, okay, this is what I'm saying. You don't get to see this on SmackDown because he has 10-second matches. It's like, come on, let us see his moveset. That hip toss to the corner that Corbin delivered to Chase was an ouchie moment. He hit the corner, then he dropped and hit his head on the mat. Like that was something, the referee had to go and check on him and make sure that he was good. That flying clothesline by Braun from the ringside apron to the table was awesome. And then this end of days into the spear was a beautiful, beautiful combo. And yeah, overall, I enjoyed the match. And let's keep it coming with the maybe Wolf Dogs. Shane?
Yeah, first off, I'm still waiting for the knowledge of the name Wolf Dogs. And I'm also waiting for the graphics and the introduction of Wolf Dogs. But we're still getting, the two separate names, Corbin and Breaker. So I guess we have to wait for something bigger to happen than for these guys to win the champion titles. I mean, what else can happen for them to change the name? But I guess we'll wait. But there was one thing that I noticed once again, that Corbin lifted Breaker when Breaker was going for the 3 count. And Corbin lifted him up again so that Corbin can do, lay it down for the 3 count. And of course it was broken. But I noticed that this happened again. Because I remember the first time it happened, I questioned it. And Jay, you explained why he did that. And it happened again tonight, which I thought was interesting. Shout out to Chase.
I'm sorry, Shane, but again, Braun must have forgot that he tagged Corbin in. So when he went for the pin, Corbin's like, "Move! You're not the legal man. What are you doing?" And it was like a moment when Braun was like, "Oh shit, my bad."
That's exactly what happened that first time. That had me question why he did that, and that exact same thing, what you explained, happened again tonight that I noticed. But oh yeah, Chase U, I give them credit. They gave a good fight. They were good. And in terms of Breaker, dude, you already heard my rant about Mr. Breaker going to SmackDown. I mean, come on. Look at the footage from his SmackDown, and then look at the footage from tonight. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why would you even use SmackDown as an example as to whether I should do this or that? It is obvious that you should do this. You was fighting against Chase U. They are known for NXT. Who the hell did you fight the last 2 times on SmackDown? I don't even remember. Why? Because they were 2 jobbers. You fought jobbers on SmackDown. That's nothing to brag about. However, you are one half of tag team champions from NXT. That, my friend, is something to shout at the top of the mountains. Because how many people can say that? But how many people can fight jobbers? Hell, all 3 of us here at the 3 Bells can fight people bigger than jobbers. Jay?
You know what I was like wondering, guys? Like, why they don't let Braun Breaker bring his tag title with him to SmackDown? Like, I've always been like, keen to something like that, and even just an announcement, like announce him as an NXT Tag Team Champion, one half. Let us know who he really is. Don't just announce him as Braun Breaker, and then he comes in and kills you, and that's it. Give us more insight to the character himself and who he is. If there's viewers that watch SmackDown and don't really watch NXT, introduce us to the man the right way. But
Well, I look at it as this because he is an official SmackDown superstar. He signed the contract. This dude has 2 contracts, one for SmackDown and one for NXT. So when he's on NXT, he's not going to be introduced as SmackDown's Breaker. Just like when he's on SmackDown, he's not going to be introduced as one half a tag team from NXT champion. They're supposed to, I guess they're going to build this breaker to be separate from NXT, which I think it's ridiculous, but I don't know. Maybe they're going to do something after Mania. I don't know. Des?
Wouldn't you guys have expected him to, when he made his debut and then the match after, to have the tag title belt with him? Like, what the hell is that about? Like, why? Like, I don't see the point at all. At all. It's like you want us to pretend that we don't know that he's on NXT and we don't know anything about him from NXT. Like, I don't get it.
It's like he's wearing all of this makeup and saying, "Hi, it's me," and we're going, "But you're still Breaker from NXT, dude. You can't cover your NXT face. Look care how much SmackDown makeup you put on. You're still Breaker from NXT. You're a champion. What are you doing?" And then you come on this big time show and fight jobbers. You're not insulted by that? Why am I more insulted by that? It's crazy. Tonight alone, you just gave an amazing performance. And what are you going to do this Friday on SmackDown? Fight another jobber. You know what?
I think last week when Corbin called him SmackDown, Mr. SmackDown or whatever it was that he called him, I think he should have called him out for not having his belt with him. Like, are you not proud to be NXT Tag Champion with me? Like, do you really just want to, try to be this completely solo artist or whatever that nature? Yeah, it's so weird. I've never seen, especially after almost a whole year of us seeing, NXT belts on Raw or SmackDown, and then WWE titles or whatever on NXT. Like, why all of a sudden stop that, and why all of a sudden can we not see him with his belt?
It seems that they were so impressed with what he did at Royal Rumble. It was like, oh my goodness, this guy, he would be a perfect singles competitor. But then again, they forgot to complete the paragraph by saying what to do with him. Because as of right now, they don't know what the hell to do with him. NXT knows what to do with him. You got a whole fleet of tag team competitors out there that goes against him that's giving us awesome TV. What the hell is he doing on SmackDown? Jay?
Bro, I hope they don't have him fight this week. Give him the week off. We don't, let him resurface back next week on NXT and just start pushing for that stand and deliver shit. Let's let's not have a jobbers match this week on Friday. We don't need that for your show on Friday. So, you know,
Jay, I have a
after
question for
all,
you.
háblame.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to bring this up. So, do you think this next title defense that they're going to have is going to be against the Good Brothers? And do you think that will be set for Stand and Deliver, or do you think it'll be on one of the NXT episodes leading up to Stand and Deliver?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's gonna be something that leads into stand and deliver. You know, if anything, they should have gave us something today, but today was too action packed. So hopefully we could notice something next week about it. I'm thinking it's gonna probably be like a triple threat tag team thing. Maybe another team gets into it. One of these young up and coming tag teams that are trying. But other than that, I could possibly see that just the one off with them.
Oh, what if you throw in Axiom and Frazier into that mix with them? Nice triple threat. That'll be cool. I like them. Jay,
Forget triple threat. I want to see a four-way. You got four tag teams that can compete to go against, the tag team titles at Stand and Deliver.
am I
Bam!
missing? Am I missing a team?
Are we missing a team? What are the four teams, Jay? Are there
There's a
four
lot
teams?
of there's more than four tag teams.
But from last week, it was like 4 teams or 3 or 4 teams that was in that
You
camera
have
view that was looking at them.
I think it was Bladed and Nofi,
Oh yeah,
Axiom and Frazier,
and Chase
what,
U.
Chase U, yeah.
Okay, so well, they already got their shot. So then I guess I don't know,
Those
man.
those other two teams. Oh, LWO was in that segment as well.
Oh, that's who it was. It was LWO. So I wouldn't mind a fatal 4-way. If we did a fatal 4-way, then LWO, Axiom and Frazier, Good Brothers, and the Wolf Dogs. That would be pretty exciting.
Shit, I
Well,
wouldn't
no,
mind it.
Wolf Dogs because the four-way they're gonna fight in order to fight the Wolf Dogs at Stand and Deliver. Right? Is that the deal?
Hopefully that's the deal. But we also can't forget about Gallus as well. They're a pretty decent tag team themselves, but we haven't seen them for a minute, so they could possibly resurface in this whole thing as well. Now I like NXT's tag team division. I feel it's something real smooth, and I'm excited. For the future with that. And with that being said, that led us into a segment. Wow, we have Mr. Mello in the back with his entourage. What did you guys think of that entourage that he had? Dez and Shane, real quick.
I'm not going to lie to y'all. I thought one of those guys was going to turn out to be Trick. You know, I just didn't trust it at first because of the fact that they all had masks on. So I'm like, okay, you're leading me to believe that one of these guys are not really who they say they are. So, yeah, it was interesting. Shane?
My sentiments exactly. Because why are they wearing masks, especially compared to last week? And what was going on with the 50-cent bulletproof vests they were wearing? Like, and you call it entourage, that was his new security. His new security. That's who they were. I mean, it looks good, you know, on video. On the playbacks, it looks good. So, I mean, did they serve a purpose? That's a question to be answered later.
True. So that led into the debut of Mr. Sean Spears against a jobber. Someone that's never been seen on TV. Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. You know, this is going to be a quick one. I already know with you guys. So, what were your thoughts on seeing his debut on the program and what he talked about later on in the, after the fact? Guys, I'm going to start with Shane and then Dez.
Because I do not like how this is his first match, and you put a goddamn jobber on there. This guy is making his NXT debut. Urea Connors. Is that his name? Eureka Connors. I mean,
Yes,
dude.
holy urea.
Oh, holy crap. With so many guys in the back. I mean, hell, you could have gotten Apollo Crews from yesterday. He's still fresh. You could have him going in here and get Mr. Sean Spears instead of this person. Anyway, again, and I'm going on this rant again because, again, you know, once Sean won, he goes on the microphone and he's doing this whole thing calling out Mr. Hollins, talking about he's lying to himself and he's doing this and he's not keeping it. And it's like, who cares? Why do you care? Why is it so important to you for him to tell the truth to himself about himself from himself? What does it matter to you? This is why you're here? And then Mr. Big Man himself, he came out, he went straight to the ring, and Sean was like, yeah, come hit me. Yeah, you gonna do something? Yeah, come hit me. He wasted no time and whooped his ass. And while he was getting his ass whooped, he was still talking. Like, dude, what are you doing? Is this important that while you're getting your ass whooped, you're smoking a cigarette and you're saying, yeah, come on, hit me, tell the truth, do this and do that? It's like, I don't know where this is going, but yeah, Des.
Well, I didn't even know NXT had jobbers on their program, so I was confused by that. I was like, okay, a jobber, and then they try to play it off as if it was his NXT debut. So I'm just like, okay, so then you guys are going to continue to show him on a week to week basis then, if this is his debut, and you know we're supposed to care. But anyway, the knees in the corner were really brutal. Like it was awesome. It's like, yeah, Sean, all right, this is what you do, cool. And that running attitude adjustment, or what he calls the C4, that was pretty cool as well. Yeah, the match was over. So then he called out Ridge, and then he said that I'm not ashamed at what I see in the mirror, unlike other people. And he said that Ridge can't say the same. And then Ridge just came down, you know, steaming. By the way, everybody, I don't give two shits about Ridge. You know, that's not something that's new. But yeah, he came down, and Sean basically just kept his hands down and said, come on, do what you got to do. Let's basically baiting Ridge. And he actually said, are you going to hurt me? And I laughed at that part because I'm like, yeah, he's tying in the whole, you know, Ridge hurting people situation. And maybe he's telling us that there's like this underlying layer of Ridge that we don't know. That's like a darker version that hurts people. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws right now, but you know, I'm just trying to put it all together with what we've seen with Ridge and Gallus before this whole thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, like Jay usually says, let's just sit back and watch and see how this goes. Jay.
So you would say that Ridge is basically NXT's Natty. Des,
NXT's Natty. What do you mean by that?
as far as the hatred that you have for Ridge.
Well, it's a real life situation with him. It's not even, you know, I think that he hurts people, and I don't like it, and I don't like the fact that they were, they made a storyline out of that because I didn't think that was funny. Because look at Biggie, he's still not competing. You know, that's not something that I would have agreed to if I was him. No matter how much you need to be on TV or whatever, like that. Natty is nothing personal. I just thought that you know a lot of good talent was let go, in multiple budget cuts, and yet someone who's not on TV, ever really, and has no current impact. And what have you done for me lately? You know, she's still there. So that's my gripe with her. It's like, come on, we got rid of Mike Chioda. This dude's on TV every goddamn day, every week. Like,
We've already
yeah,
had discussion multiple times, and Jay, I wouldn't compare her to Sean. It's especially excuse me, not Sean. Mr.
Rich.
Ridge, especially asking Des that question because it's not compatible. These are two totally different people with totally different situations
And
with
I just
one
laid them
legit
out.
reason, and he laid it out, a legit reason not to like him, and then but still don't understand why you don't like her because we've explained what she does as a whole, which is why she's still there. But what do I know? I'm just from
Right,
Eastern.
but a person like Mike Chioda was more than just a referee as well. He was a part of the set crew that put up the ring, took down the ring. He was with the company for 30 years. I mean, yes, it's beautiful that she might have just started training people at her dungeon and all that other stuff. But I'm saying, like, besides that, okay, beautiful. They let freaking Bray Wyatt go. Are you kidding me? Like, seriously? Really? Bray Wyatt? Come on, Jay.
Yes, Jay is here, and that leads us into yet another segment where Brooks confronts Jensen in the back, and he lets him know like, "Are you like seriously gonna fight over Femi next week?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Bro, you shouldn't do it." But he let him know like, "Look, you lit a fire under me, and now I want to get these type of matches now. So let me at it and stay out my way now." So I could possibly see those two guys down the line fighting again. Because it seems like Son was feeling sorry for whooping his ass last time they fought each other. And, you know, Dijak comes along and was like, "You calling him your bro? Yeah, you're just a dead man walking." I said, "Oh shit, if he ain't using Undertaker line right there." Des, I just want to ask you this one, yourself. What was your, you know, thought about that line that he used? Just, did you think he used that Undertaker line right or what?
Well, he was referring to Brooks as the a dead man walking. But so you're gonna give me my flowers for telling you guys that his character, and he's reminding me of the Undertaker. Rather, without the mystique and all the extraness, it's just like certain characteristics. So yeah, that was said very well. He is a dead man walking. Brooks is a dead man walking going into a match with Oba. Plain and simple. Jay.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that. And, you know, that's going to lead us into a match with the Kabuki Warriors against Paxley and Lyra. But, before all of that started, they showed us a little bit of Ilya. And, you know, we got a promo with him, and he let us basically know about Tony and Mello. And he sees Mello's a man on a mission and with a vision. And with Mello, that, he sees Mello's scrum, and more or less, the Don is making moves. And, when Don's people came, they let him know, "We'll see you stand and deliver." So basically, they had their little buttons being pushed later on in the show, which I'm sure you guys caught on at the end. And officially, that leads us, you know, into the tag team match. What a match! It was all right, but in between the match, we got a little tussle in the back. That's kind of different. They gave us a little cut-off segment while the match was going on, which I thought was cool, guys. It's something different, and I'm all for it when trying out new stuff, and that was cool. So I'm gonna go with Shane. and then Dez. You know, were your guys' thoughts on the match? And was it what you guys expected in the outcome?
I like this match. I like to see the Kabuki Warriors. They work really well. They complement each other very well. And surprisingly enough, Lyra and Tatum, they were actually pretty cool, fighting together. And this question came to my mind. I said, is Tatum a female version of Gacy in terms of more so of her level of crazy and insane lining up with Gacy? However, she is more darker. But there was some things that she did that reminded me of Gacy. No. But I tell you one thing though, the crowd love Kyrie Sane. Ooh wee. They showed that woman so much love. How could she not do what she was doing tonight? They gave her love. She showed love back with that amazing, one of the prettiest flying elbows that you will see. It's always good to see her do that move. And of course, they won, but it was good to see them in NXT. It was good to see them back home, and it was good to see them fight Lara and Tatum. And I was so engulfed into this match, I didn't even notice or would have thought that Roxanne would have came out and did what she did. I mean, she came out and she was just like this totally different person that we've never seen before, because this vengeance, this red blood is just so thick in her eyes and in her mind, getting this girl back to a point where it's not even about the title anymore. Like, this is something that's like really deep that we really need to look into. It's what's going on here. Roxanne is in a totally different space that I personally have never seen since tuning into NXT. All in all, I thought the match was great. It was awesome. It was good to see the Kabuki Warriors again home. And moving forward, let's see what happens with this Roxanne and this Lyra. And where the hell did Tatum go? I know she was knocked down and rolled over on the side of the ring, but the hell did she go after that? Des?
Yeah, and speaking of being back home, to see and hear, the love that Oscar has from the NXT crowd, it makes sense. Vic mentioned that Oscar has never lost in NXT. So for them to keep that going and her not to lose tonight, I was just like, wow. They explained her reign as NXT Women's Champion, how long it was. Till this day, she's still the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. I remember when she went to WrestleMania and faced Charlotte. She had that undefeated streak that was still intact, and I still think that was a bad idea by Vince to break it. But what, Charlotte? So of course Vince is going to side with her. But anyway, I'm going to just read off my notes real quick. Kyrie and Oscar are really, really good together. They move so perfectly. They know each other very, very, very well. And then it was a beautiful leg drop off the top rope by Lyra when Tatum was holding down, I believe it was Kyrie. And then I thought that Lyra, when she kicked Tatum, I thought, I still think that might, create a little turbulence between the two of them, but we'll see down the line. I'm not mad at the fact that the Kabuki Warriors won. It was well earned. But I still don't like those bitches because of what they did to my girl Bailey. So fuck y'all. Anyway, respectfully, sorry, not sorry. And Roxy, again, I'm still loving this new phase of Roxy not being this happy-go-lucky girl anymore. And you know what? It's what they do. Sorry, Lyra, but you got to watch your back. I don't know why you got so comfortable knowing that Roxy's back there pissed off. She wants her belt back by any means necessary. Jay?
Yeah, you wild. You wild, Des. You know, with me, the way the match was, like both of you guys said, the fluidity that the Kabuki Warriors had together was great. I loved how they was moving in and out, tagging in and out, and the fact that the crowd was literally behind them 100%. You could already see that anybody that was, oh, excuse me, that was a Lyra fan actually, didn't really cheer for her. They were more the bad girls in the match. So, kudos to the champs for coming down and evaluating talent and for, another successful defense of this title. But as I've been saying, the women need more. So, if this was a way just to give some extra talent some extra time, that's cool. I'm all for it. You know, And moving on from that, we got Ava in the background with Shawn Michaels, and they're seeing Lyra being put onto the ambulance, and Lyra says, Ava's like, just focus on getting better and everything, and you see her and Shawn talking to each other, so we can imagine what they were talking about because it was quick. And Lyra, hope you get better, and see you at Stand and Deliver, hopefully.
Jay,
Talk to me.
do you think that was Roxy's point to possibly make Lyra injured to the point that she might have to forfeit her title, just like she did?
I wouldn't be too surprised unless that's gonna be the focal point of what she uses when they do get a chance to fight. Like, so since this new Roxy we seen, she has a submission move, and you already got the hand hurt, the arm hurt, so it's gonna continue, to haunt her. So this is something we gotta stay tuned to. What happened there? What was the ding 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 for? ¿Qué pasó ahí?
Because you were making a good point. A good point. I didn't even
Oh.
think about that. Yeah, I forgot the fact that she's been using that armbar or the crossface or whatever it is to win matches recently. So that was spot on. One more time for Jay. Great job, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So that led into another match. And the way I'm gonna put it, this match, the way I wrote it down is I wrote Miss Nice Cakes versus Blair Davenport, aka Fallon Henley. You know, this was an enjoyable match to me. It wasn't the greatest, but it was enjoyable, and the outcome was very surprising. Hmm. Guys, I'm gonna go with Dez on this one first, and then Shane. What were your thoughts on the ladies in match?
I wrote down that this was a quick match. I have no other notes towards this match besides that it was a very fast match. Um, and I believe they said somebody with the name of Soul. She interfered in the match and basically cost Blair the match because apparently Blair had cost her almost a year of her career. So it was basically Karma coming back to haunt Blair, and I guess they'll take it from there and move on with their little story. So yeah, quick match. Not mad at it. I mean, as far as basically it was just meant for the return of that superstar. So it is what it is. Shane.
As far as I'm concerned, that entire thing was like a French. It was this French language, a French language class in high school. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know who anyone was. I didn't know who this Soul Rucha or whatever her name is. I don't know. I don't know. Can I lay back down? I just want to lay back down on my desk. Maybe we'll see more next week. But as for now,
Wow. Wow.
Oh shit, that was the sleeper match of the night. Oh shit, damn. So Ruka, why did you do this to my guys? You gave that the sleeper. Oh yeah. Okay, now that after that match, we got led into yet another promo where JC was in the back talking, and they were like, that match slipped right through their fingers, and here comes JC saying, "I did what I had to do to get you guys these titles, and y'all lost." And here comes Thea Hale saying, like, "Look, you didn't see us fight in the background in the during the tag team title match where Kiana and me got into it. I need a tag partner. You're not gonna help?" And JC Jane was like, "No, I'm too busy." I'm like, wow, the shade that she's giving her now. So I'm just sitting back and wondering, who does she get to be her tag partner? And also, another promo we got with Ava and Gigi. And Gigi was like, "Look, I want to fight Ariana," and she's refusing to fight because every time she sees her, she's gonna run from her. And here comes Miss Grace coming out and saying she still won't do it, but under one condition, because Gigi kept on talking and using supposed foul language to her, and she was calling her a potty mouth. So she was like, "If I win, I can bring out the inner beauty in you." And bring out a different side of your mean side. So I'm interested to seeing what they got worked up for these ladies and everything coming up, because it basically seemed like these two promos were more or less for the ladies, because there's this division here with the women that's too stacked. So you could already see that how they pushing certain angles with them. You know, do you guys want to talk about this one, or do you guys want to continue the show? Hmm, I, hmm,
Um,
tough
please
decision.
continue. Please continue.
Thank you, thank you. At least someone said something. Don't leave me going silent. Okay, so that leads us into Ari Spears. Oh God, oh my God, I said Ari Spears. I mean Sean Spears in the back, leaving the building. So we just had three straight promos. Jesus Christ. Yeah. And it leads us into another promo. Woo! The No Quarter Catch crew, coming into the ring to celebrate their Heritage Cup. Now
Jay,
this what?
first off, don't what me. Second of all, so you
Ah,
you just skipped over the Sean Spears promo because you messed up his name.
y'all guys. You say continue going, so
I
I
said
doubt y'all want
continue.
to talk about that promo as well.
You asked the question about the whole situation with Ava and Ariana and Gigi. Don't try to put that on the next promo.
Okay, sir. Okay. What would you like to say? Talk to me.
You're the host. I'm just saying, if you're gonna skip it, then okay, then we're gonna skip it. Then cool.
No, just for that. Okay. We'll go. Because I only wrote one sentence on it, and it was like, he was just talking about Ridge and hoping that Ridge is ready to embrace it. I didn't really get too much hyped on what he was saying about him, and I was just like, that's what I got from it, and more than likely we're gonna see a stand and deliver match from the two. Dez, what were your thoughts on it since you already brung it up?
All right, since you want to be an asshole about it, I was just gonna say that if I'm not mistaken, he challenged them to a match next week, and yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, this really wasn't worth talking about, which is why I see he didn't say anything about it. But yeah, this is becoming like almost like a vignette of his when they catch him, outside when he's in his regular clothes with his suitcase. They run up to him and ask like a question. And he stares into the camera and says something, and that's it. This is like I'm seeing that this is becoming a thing now. Other than that, yeah, that is what it is. We'll see you next week.
Okay, Shade Omac, since you want to be shading people, since when you got a voice? Because that's where he asked the question and you didn't unmute your mic, so I answered for both of us.
It's you the one that was doing this shade, and you the one that was being the asshole, and you're doing all of this talking to cover the fact that you was being an asshole and doing all this shade. But it's all right though. It's okay. I tell you what. Here, why don't you meet me at the bar so we can have a drink
Not even,
and it can be
not even.
okay. Happy
You can
Tuesday.
use all your buttons and stuff, but that does not, it doesn't deny the fact that he asked us a question and you didn't say anything. I responded, and that's when he was like, "Well, thank you for not leaving, me on mute or anything of that nature." So yeah, Shane,
I
back to
mean,
you,
that has
Jay.
to do with what I said, but okay. Back to you, Jay.
Guys, be nice to each other, please, please. This led into another promo which we had in ring, which featured the No Quarter Catch crew. I'm still trying to, come up with I'm going to say, as they said on TV, the NQCC, and they brung the Heritage Cup. This was very interesting. I definitely like what I saw out of it, and the way they call the stipulations out on how they're going to be running this cup, and it gives me like New Day type vibes where all guys are the champs. Fellas, what were your thoughts on this promo that we got? Shane, I'm gonna go with you first, and then Mundo.
It was very interesting to see Mr. Regal, William Regal. He came out and he basically, he talked about, the prestige and how much the Heritage Cup, means to the business, it means to him. So he was just, reminding, these youngins, the quarter catch crew, that, you're holding something very valuable there. And for some reason, his son wanted to say some shade about, I'll defend this cup better than you could. And it's like, Charlie, do you know who you're speaking to? Do you know who William Regal is? You're probably talking about today's William Regal in terms of that, but I'm talking about prime Regal. You might want to, go sit down and hush your mouth and look at what he has done. He helped pave the way for the business to be where it is today. He was one of the biggest names back in the Attitude Era. I'm sure he's one of the reasons why you even want to even be in the ring, let alone have the strength and the knowledge to be in the ring and to hold that cup. So now you want to show a little respect there, buddy. And keep in mind that William Regal can still put you over his knee and whoop your ass. Des?
Thank you very much, Shane. I appreciated the history lesson that Regal gave us about the Heritage Cup and how much it meant to the European wrestlers. Because again, I'm still new to this NXT thing, so I never understood exactly what it was, what the Heritage Cup is. So him giving us that rundown of the history definitely was something cool, and just seeing him in general was something cool. I mean, the whole audience went crazy seeing him, and I hope we do get to see a little bit more of him. And yeah, as you said, Shane, his son telling him that I'll defend it better than you ever did. I was just like, okay, what are you like? What is that about? Like, why are you talking to your father like that? Where he's just saying that he hopes that you guys can keep it up. So yeah, that was a little weird. But again, shout outs to Mr. Regal, and yeah. Let's see what moves, how this goes forward. Oh, one thing, fellas, what in the world is like this name? The name of the group, what does it mean? Like, I don't get it. How about you guys? I don't get it.
I was going to say, oh man, I just lost my thought. I have to get back to you on that. But yeah, Jay, what is with this name, this quarter catch? No quarter catch? What does that mean?
No quarter catch crew. I have no idea. I think Gulak came up with it, you know, but it seemed like they made the name of this group as you guys were watching it, started watching it, like they came upon, because they were never formed as a group prior to you guys watching it.
You're right.
Gulak was just getting there and started getting his appearances on in the back more, training Dempsey by himself originally,
Yeah,
and
you're
then the
right,
other
Jay.
guy, because
Because I remember.
the other guy that's in the no quarter catch crew, the one with the mohawk and the curls, that's Gabe Stevenson's brother. So that's another thing to watch out for as well. What was you gonna say, Des?
Okay, I don't know who Gabe Stevenson is. Is that the Olympic dude that they tried and it just failed miserably?
Yes, the fake Kurt Angle.
No, I was gonna say I remember I remember there was an episode of the podcast that we did, and we couldn't the three of us couldn't figure out exactly what they said. I remember I called them the no corner catch crew or something like that because we couldn't figure it out. And I still don't get it. No quarter catch. What does that even mean? Like, is it the initials of all three of them put together and they just made words up to go with it? I don't know.
I don't know.
I have a question for you, Jay, because Des reminded me of this question. For a second, I forgot it, but now I remember. But is there something going on between William Regal's son and William? Like, did William say something to his son that led to his son to say what he said tonight?
More than likely, what I'm thinking, maybe before Regal actually got to the States, that Heritage Cup was being defended heavily in Britain. He probably grew up out there wrestling, getting his name known out there, and that's where the cup probably made his name at. And when the UK brought out, when NXT UK came out, decades later, they decided to actually revive that title. And I guess, William Regal was there in NXT hands on with a lot of stuff. So, he probably more than likely pushed for that title to come back out and for it to be defended there. And now look at how we got it. So, I can see what you're asking because like you said, it means a lot to my countrymen, to my family, to my people. So, you better do the damn thing, son. Don't just have it as y'all four talking the talk and then y'all just lose it real quick. Do Yeah, y'all better make noise with it.
I understand what you're saying, Jay, but I don't know. It seems to me that there was something there in Charlie for him to have said that to his pops. You understand what I'm saying? Because your pops, he's William Regal. You understand what I'm saying? Like he's telling you something very important about this cup that you guys earned, that you guys are all sharing. And out of all the four guys, it's the son that wants to come out and say something smart like that. So that's why I'm asking, like, where is this coming from? Why do you have this attitude towards William? So I'm thinking, was there like past beef or something like that? And please don't tell me that this is just now sparking. Please don't tell me that the writer said, okay, so when William comes out and he says his thing, you say they outfend this cup better than you could lie. Just to start this possible father and son beef. Like, no, please don't tell me that. I rather there has been that something happened, that maybe William said something to Charlie that maybe had him second doubt himself. Something like that would make sense. That would lead him to say that line, and then what happened move forward. Am I making sense, Des? Am I making sense, Jay?
No, I get what you're saying. Again, like I said to you yesterday, I'm your tag team partner when it comes to make it make sense. But I guess in this situation, we just have to wait and let it play out so we can actually, understand where that spiciness came from. Again, this is only the second appearance that we got with William Regal on NXT since he came back from AEW. So I'm pretty sure down the line, when we get more appearances from NQCC, it'll be explained to us. So let's just sit back and watch, and I'm pretty sure Mr. HBK himself will make it make sense for us. Jay?
Thank you for
Hmm.
explaining it like that. I would keep an open mind. Thank you, man.
I definitely see where where Des coming, where Des came from with it, and when the question that you asked Shane, because the way I'm looking at it in its entirety, it's like he wanted to work with his son eventually, and we knew if there's gonna be anybody with balls within this group that they gotta try to highlight the most, it's gonna be his son. So, why not step to daddy, but not let the crowd, the crowd already knew that was his son, but, they got different names on the shows. So, I guess they're not selling it to us fully yet that that's his father. And he was able to say it the way he said it to him. Maybe it's that way. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like I said, if it makes sense, make it make sense, and I'll buy it. But like Des said, moving forward, I'm sure they'll explain in more detail why he feels the way he feels. And then it'll probably build up into a story where William explains his past and this, that, and the fourth. And yeah, then it would make sense to me.
It's probably, imagine if it had something to do with him going to AEW while his son was, trying to make a name for himself here in the WWE. But then again, William, he didn't have control over that. He was let go. But imagine if they try to flip that and make it seem like his father did something very selfish instead of helping him. Look, I'm just trying to give a storyline here. But yeah, let's sit back and watch.
Like, that's definitely something to digest. And let's sit back and see what they got, brewing in the pot. And after that, it was another promo that went by with Noam Dar and his crew in the back. He was quiet at first, and they were like, "Look, he's not talking to them or whatever." And Lash sits there and he gets all hype, and now they're all happy. And he says, "Look, the past is the past. Time's for the future." All of a sudden, he's happy. Let's see what the future holds for him. And before all of that, I would like to get into my Jay's little tidbit of the night, and I would like to say NXT back then had a little thing that they had going on where, you know, the NFL Combine just happened, and they had their own little version of it back then where they had the vertical jump. And in the vertical jump, guess who came in second place with a 38.6-inch vertical? None other than your guy Ivar. Wow. For a guy of his stature, I give him all the salute and praise. And within the ladies, it was Indy Hartwell with a 29.7 vertical for the ladies. That's crazy. You know, that's Jay's tidbit of the night. Guys, what are your thoughts on the tidbit of the night?
That was very interesting and crazy to think that it was Ivar. Like, wow, like he is impressing me more and more and more. And it's just making me like just so excited that he is here, that he's doing his thing, and he always brings it no matter what, in and out the ring. And doing vertical jumps like that, beating everybody? Come on, dude. Meet me at the bar. I got a whole picture for you, man. Kudos to you, dude.
You know, I'm not surprised. I mean, Ivar, if we watch his matches, he has athleticism that's undeniable, man. Like it's just like how can you do this at the size that you are? He is the modern day Vader with even more athleticism. So I'm not surprised, you know, to be the because I mean we all know who number one is. We've seen that on social media, but number two, that's crazy. But yeah, thanks for the tidbit, Jay.
Anytime, guys. Thought I'll
And,
squeeze that one in.
oh, and also, did I mention to you that I love that name, Jay's tidbit of the night? I love that. I really, really do.
One the way that I pieced that together, you probably already kind of know. You know, watching TNT when they do it for Ernie. You know,
Oh.
when he does the Saturday night thing. So I was like, oh,
Yeah. And you did that off the top of your head though, bro. So yeah, let's give Jay's tidbit of the night some 3 bells, please. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that leads us, guys, into our main event, and featured Mello coming out with his entourage against the Dawn of NXT. And prior to that match starting, we had a little segment where Mr. Stone was in the back and talking with Vaughn. And, you know, Mr. Stone finally wants to start getting his feet wet, it seems like, and he wants to handle his business now. Okay, mister, you got some balls now, some cojones. Kudos to you. But, you know, that leads us now into the match itself. And wow, guys. Now, talk about main event. This was a great ass main event. I loved it from beginning to end. It made me flip my paper, throw my book, my pen went everywhere. I just lost my mind during the match. Fellas, I'm gonna start with Dez and then Shane. What were your thoughts on the beginning, the ending, and oh man, just everything. Just talk to me.
Well, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to go backwards. And that promo with Von Wagner and Mr. Stone, I think that shouldn't have been aired on TV. I know personally that I would have rather seen a promo with Miss Parker. Miss Parker's presence was definitely missed tonight on NXT. Where are you, Miss Parker? We miss you. Anyway, excuse me. But yes, this match, Shane, can you please, if you still have it on your board, can you please give us a round of applause for Mello, please?
You don't have applause? Here's your applause. For Mello.
I don't have applause right now. Right now I have did you know? But yeah, I'm giving an applause to Mello because Mello is the star on NXT and he did a great job putting over the Don, Tony D'Angelo tonight. Yeah, you know, Tony to go from 1 week in being a tag team champion and being basically mid card to going into main events now and actually looking like a main event star. I love it. Those spine busters, my God, woo! Those spine busters that he laid on to Mello were insane, man, insane. And I'm just gonna skip down to it when Mello was about to go for his finishing move on the top rope, and then Trick's music hit. Man, 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 the crowd went crazy, and you know you see the security turning around like you know we're ready to fight. Come on, put him up, man, put him up. And then and Melo's not even paying attention to the match anymore. I'm just like Melo, pay attention, Melo, pay attention. And then the music stops, and he turns around, and then he gets skyrocketed with that spine buster again, man. And you can tell that spine buster right there took the air out of his body because I mean, Lord have mercy, that dude was high up in the air. And then for the Don to hit him with the forget about it, I was like, damn. But you know what? It just made my prediction right. The Don went on the mic and was like, hey, I'm sorry about that trick that I played on you, but you know, I had to do what I had to do to get the win. And he said, and you know what? I'm a nice Don. I got a surprise for you. And then Trick's music hits again, and everybody's looking at the stage area, and then here comes Trick. And he starts whipping Melo's ass and the security. And I was like, God damn it. God damn it. But as I told you guys last week, my prediction was that Trick would figure out a way to cost Melo the win, and it would set up their story for Stand and Deliver, which I still believe will be Melo's last match in NXT before he gets called up to the main roster, and he's gonna put Trick over, and that's what I think this whole thing is about. Shane?
Well, it makes sense. Everything you said makes sense moving forward. So, hey, why not? Better not be nothing stupid. But yeah, this match was amazing. This Tony guy, he is a big dude. You know, when he was backstage, and, he has his jacket and everything on, you don't see just how big he is until he gets in the ring. You're like, God damn. And he's strong and powerful, which is why during most of the match, if you notice, Melo was focusing on his left arm because he's just so strong. So why not try to get rid of one of his arms? So he was focusing on that throughout, most of the match, because this dude is just so big. He's so strong. All in all, I like the match. It was brains versus muscles, and it was trickery that actually gave us the win. So it was a little bit of brains from the muscle side. So yeah, congratulations to Tony. He is he's going for that big title. I guess he will be headlining. Is he the main event for Stand and Deliver, going for the big title? And then will we see, and I think we will see, just like Des said, we will see Melo versus Trick as well. They have unfinished business to do. That's a ginormous match. Probably bigger than the title match. But we shall see in 32 days from today for Stand and Deliver. Jay?
Shane, I saw what you did there. I seen what you did there. You're not slick. You said with that trickery, huh? Smooth, my brother, smooth.
What do you mean in terms of how Tony won?
Yeah, I'm just, it's just the word trickery.
Trickery. Yeah,
Trick.
because you said that he said that on the mic. That Tony said that. Did Tony use that word or am I
I believe he
bugging?
did. No, I believe he
Yeah, he
did.
did.
I believe he did.
Tony
He
did.
did. He did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it was trickery. It was smart trickery. Yeah.
The wordplay is elite with my guy Shane O'Mac. in the Don. Jay.
Yes. Good old wordplay is in the house.
Like what's crazy is that when the Don said what he said about that he pulled the strings and everything, that led you back to that segment from earlier on in the night where they had they basically had confronted Luca and the underboss when they confronted them and let them know that we're gonna be seeing them at Stand and Deliver, that they was gonna pull some strings already. So maybe those were the strings that the Dawn wanted pulled tonight, and by playing that Trick music. So that was good to have that as part of the storyline tonight. And we literally, what happened to us?
No, I was about to say, yeah, I agree with you 100%, and I love the fact that you're bringing us back full circle to that segment, because definitely they said that he's pulled a lot of strings tonight. So yeah, good job with that, Jay.
Thank you, my kind sir. And from what I noticed tonight with Roadblock, in general, it basically fed us about maybe 3 or 4 storylines heading into Stand and Deliver. We got the Trick Mellow. We're gonna have Ilya versus the Dawn, and more than likely the Wolf Dogs and whoever they choose for them. It seems like we're gonna have Roxy still go against Lyra. It's gonna be interesting. We got a lot to digest with these women. I mean, with just with Roadblock and Stand and Deliver coming. I'm excited because, like Shane said, 32 days away, and they fed us a lot tonight. And for it to actually be a PLE style event, I give everybody their kudos. They put on a good show for us tonight. And when you talk about Roadblock and us old school WWF WWE fans, we know about Roadblock PLEs. It was always leading up to Mania, and definitely love how they revive, like Des mentioned this last week, how they revived the old school PLEs and keep them alive. Good show tonight with them, and hope to more looking forward down the line from them. Guys.
Well, Jay, if there's nothing else, can we do the Three Bells match and or moment of the night?
Well, go ahead. Make my day, mi amigo.
Okay, cool. My match for tonight is Dijak versus Gacy. I like wrestling matches like that where you can use your elements and there's no disqualifications. And there was in a cage match, and then moonsault from the top of the cage. I thought that was like one of the dopest moves of the night. All in all, I enjoyed that match. And of course, the moment of the night I was totally shocked about was when Trick came out. I was totally not expecting for him to come out at all. So I would say that was my match, and that was my Three Bells moment for tonight. Des?
Yeah, so for me, it's going to be controversial, but I don't care. My match of the night for tonight was Blair versus Fallon.
Wait, who?
I'm lying. That match was trash. Yeah, that match was trash. But I'll actually, I would agree with you, Shane, with the first match of the night. But for me, I'll go ahead and say that I really enjoyed the women's tag team championship match. So that'll be my match of the night for tonight: the Kabuki Warriors versus Tatum and Lyra. Um, and as far as my moment of the night, though it was not a shocker to me because I called it last week, Trick. I just feel like because of the energy that it created in the arena tonight, the only thing we was missing was Booker T doing his role when the song came on. But he was too busy. Just I don't know. But yeah, that's my match of the night and my Three Bells moment of the night. Jay.
Well, my match of the night, honestly, was the main event. Just because we're getting to see more of a side from the Don, and I'm liking his angle of everything. He's delivering. He's strong. And Mello doing his heel work in the ring and just being sidetracked. That was cool. I enjoyed the match from beginning to end, and you know, I'm gonna agree with both of you fellas. You know, my favorite part of the night was whoop that Trick coming out and whooping it. That was cool. I was hyped. Like I said, I threw my book, my pen, everything everywhere. Stuff was flying all over the room. I was happy again. You know, I felt NXT was dead for a second, and with this, it just revived everything. Guys, like now I'm happy. Now I'm happy, and we got about a month to the next PLE, which is gonna be crazy. Like shit. I'm all ready for it. And with tonight's show, you know, but what you guys seen tonight, out of every wrestler that we've seen actually wrestle tonight, whether they've been on the main roster on SmackDown or not, do you see anybody on this current roster, whether male or female, from what we've seen tonight, having a great future down the line? I'm gonna ask Shane first, and then Des.
Wow, that's a good question. That's a good question because I have to admit, like me coming from a personal angle, I wasn't really feeling this NXT. I really wasn't. But then Jay, you speak so passionate about this. I said, wow, there must be something really good going on here. So then it came up to the idea for us to discuss it, and then you be the host of it. So I said, I'm going to keep an open mind. And I'm so glad that you introduced us to this and to get me to open my mind to this NXT brand with the NXT, superstars. They are so hungry. They are so hungry and they are so awesome. And they are showing week after week that they can go to Raw. They can go to SmackDown. Hell, they could probably even go to Mania. So we see all of these fantastic people. We see Breaker. We see Sean Spears. He was doing something outside, and now he's coming back and he's going to make more noise. We see this Dragunov guy, which at first sight I didn't know that he can do what he has been doing. Extremely impressed. And with the women, oh forget about it. Oh forget about it. The women's division here at NXT is absolutely amazing. I can't name all of them, but they are all doing amazing job. So, you look at all of these guys, even Chase U, that whole faction is good in the ring and entertaining. So, I mean, I can't pick one, but whoever you pick that would go to the next brand, as long as you make it make sense, and as long as you don't put them in jobber matches like how you're doing with Breaker, because this fight in jobbers can only last for so long, and then it's going to fall flat, and we're just going to say, oh, this again. Oh, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to get a drink. Let's make sure that when we grab these next round of superstars, that you use them properly and use the most out of them, because they are absolutely killing it. NXT is absolutely killing it right now. And I thank you, Jay, so much for opening my eyes and my mind to this brand. And you as well, Des, with your inputs, and you coming from the same angle as I am. And then us two, we have our thoughts and our opinions together about this brand. It's like, wow, this is pretty cool. I really do enjoy these Tuesdays, and I really am enjoying this NXT brand. I'm done.
Well, Shane, first and foremost, Shane, that was beautiful. I agree with you 100%. I echo your sentiments 100%, because originally when the thought of doing all this came to mind, and I was talking to Jay, because originally it was supposed to be me and Jay doing this together, and he was just like, yo, we got to do NXT, like, bro, NXT. And I'm like, Jay, I don't watch NXT, I don't know anything about it. I grew up watching Raw, and I grew up watching SmackDown, but he was just adamant about it. He was like, look, it's really good. It's the future of the company. Look at all the guys that's on the main roster now. Basically, everybody came from NXT. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. And then when we brought you along and you agreed to do this with us, and we all were like, at first, I was supposed to host everything, but I'm like, well, I don't know shit about NXT, so I can't host something that I don't know about. And, we were like, okay, well, Jay, you host it. You're the guy. You know everything about NXT. You exposed us to this. So I agree. Thank you, Jay, for opening my eyes as well to our future. And it's weird that I've never actually sat down and watched NXT, because it's still WWE. It's just the future of WWE. And, I'm just not used to having the future right there at my disposal, So I definitely would like to thank you for that, Jay. Give you your 3 bells for that. And as far as the talent, the future talent, it's not one person. It's Braun Breaker. It's Mello. It's Trick. It's Miss Parker. Slash Legend. It's Chase U. It's Roxanne Perez. It's so many different characters that I'm becoming more and more aware of, and who I can see making that jump to the main roster. Look what Tiffany just did. I got a taste of Tiffany from when she was feuding with Becky, and now look at her. She's a rising star on the main roster. And I can see that for all of the people that I just mentioned, and most of the people that we see on a week-to-week basis. Oba, Lexus King, Dijak, Casey. I can see these people being our future, I'm excited about it. And again, I'm blessed to do this show and all of our shows with you, Jay, you, Shane. I really, I'm grateful that you guys agreed to do this with me. Something that I thought about doing. I'm like, yeah, it would be cool to host a podcast about, something that we like to watch, a hobby of ours. And you guys actually agreeing to do it with me. So I'm grateful for that. And okay, I'm done. I can't even go any further. Thanks, guys. Go ahead, Jay.
You know what's crazy though about NXT with you guys? I would say this is like their third PLE within the time frame of us doing a podcast. Our podcast is because they had New Year's Evil, they had Vengeance Day, and then now with Roadblock, I think they're pretty much right on cue with the guys at the main roster, because they had Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and then now they're feeding us main, Stand and Deliver, then Mania. I like how everything is going within the brands itself. And the reason why I was trying, I kept on trying to like force feed it to you guys, because it's like, a lot of the roster cuts back then that we didn't get to see from NXT are flourishing in other brands. And, some of the cast offs that actually did stay and get other roles hasn't been the same or better, so, you know, like I always say, I thank you guys for actually even jumping on the bandwagon with this, because the future is here. And when WWE actually says then, now, and forever, we gotta always think NXT is that it's with them is they're the future, they're now. So and then for the other like for Raw, that's the forever. So I look at it like that with you guys, and I definitely appreciate everything within this that y'all guys are doing. And also, before we end out this show tonight, you know, any final thoughts based on what we saw tonight? And we got Friday, we got SmackDown this Friday night, guys. We're gonna have a nice little doozy with The Rock and Cody and we got some spice. What talk to me, guys.
All right,
Any final thoughts?
enough of this emotional shit. All right, that's not what we do here.
Hey,
Okay?
hey, let
Yes,
me enjoy my time.
no, you get your flowers, but um, I Shane, you can hold off on the music. We're not there yet. Not there yet.
Oh,
Not there
sorry.
yet. Yeah, we're not there yet. I actually have. I'm gonna do this for you, Jay, because it was some stuff that I forgot to mention last night. So while I have the chance on NXT, we're gonna do a special segment of Did You Know? If you don't mind. But fellas, did you know? I failed to mention to you guys last night. But did you know that Mick Foley has decided to come out of retirement because he's in the best shape of his life, the best health of his life, and he feels that he can come back to the ring again and put on more matches, include more extreme matches. Did you guys know that? Did you know that, Jay? Did you know that, Shane?
Oh my God, this is the first I'm hearing about it, and I'm just like, what? Please not now, Mr. Foley. You're like 70 years old. Please don't do this to us. You already gave us the best of your life, and nah, not right now. We don't need it. What? Wow. Thanks, Des.
You're telling me the same Foley as in the bag of broken bones and torn muscles, Mick Foley, coming back? No, I'm not seeing that at all. I mean, yes, you're probably getting high because you saw Ric Flair and because you saw Sting. I can get that, but dude, you've done it. You've done it all. You've been there. You've paved the way. What is there left for you to do? I mean, dude, celebrate and enjoy. But yeah, I don't see it.
Well, apparently Mick has lost about 300 pounds, and it's putting him basically in the best shape of his life. And he's like, why just sit at home and do nothing when I'm the healthiest I've been in forever. And I still think, with me, retiring so early, it's basically giving him a second chance at a wrestling career. So,
Des,
yo,
did you just say he lost 300 pounds? How much was he
yes,
weighing? What was he
that's
weighing?
the
Like
thing.
600? Like 600?
He was out of shape, and he stopped working out. He stopped doing a lot of things, and then he realized like, yo, I can't do this. And he got into a healthy regime, changed his diet, started working out more, and that's why he feels that he can do it. Maybe he's not the sack of broken bones and torn ligaments anymore, since he's been out of action for so many years. Jay, if I'm not mistaken, we watched his last match last week at WrestleMania 2000 or something like that. That was
Yeah,
over
that's what
20,
I'm saying.
24 years ago.
That's what I'm
24.
saying. Like, don't, not now, bro. Don't do it now, please.
I don't think it can get any worse than us watching Ric Flair fight in his current state, moving
Nah, bro.
slower than slow.
Nah, I saw that little highlight clip from Flair last week, and them chops were slower than. Oh my God, bro. Them chops didn't even connect last week. It
Right.
was
Now think
hilarious.
about it. Mick is what? Probably in the same age category between The Rock and, I'll say, Undertaker. So he's somewhere in his 50s. The Rock is still gonna go, and we don't mind. So why can't we give Mick that same love?
Well, first off, Mick Foley he's 58 years old. And
Right.
secondly, we're used to see Flair, he does only but so much. And the biggest thing that you could do for Flair is, throw him off the top rope and he lands perfectly on his back in the ring. However, with Mick Foley, this is the guy we used to see him being hit with the chair. You throw him against the ring steps. Like, he takes punishments. And he has always taken punishments like that because of his size. Like, if can you imagine if this today, whatever weight he is, it looks like he's 287 at 6'2". You think that the Undertaker can throw his ass over the hell of the cell at this weight? No, you probably break them into 4 pieces. He a 4-piece chicken right now if you were to throw his ass off the ring of the top of the Hell of a Cell. He was able to do everything that he did because of his size, because of his agility. You're kissing 60 years old. You think you can still do that? I mean, I tell you what. Okay, we got to be fair. I'm gonna be fair. Let's see you do something in the ring, and prove to me that you can still do it. I'll give you that. Yeah, Des, I agree. I'll give him a shot. A
Hey, I
hard shot.
mean,
I give him a shot.
hey, look, look. I had quotes, but I didn't want to read off the quotes because the quotes were too long. But he just feels that he's in the best shape of his life. I don't know if his current weight is being shown on the internet, or if that was the last weight that they had him measured as, while he was an active competitor. But he's saying that, he wants to give it a go one more time and be the hardcore legend. So thank you guys for allowing me to do a special episode of Did You Know? On tonight's NXT episode. Jay, it is now 12:14. I'll give it off to you, my guy.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna wrap up this show.
We have a message.
And
Quick message.
oh, spotlight.
Oh, how well do you think they can recreate it? I mean, balance, agility, and lots of steroid shots. No. Hey guys, how are y'all doing? It's the Three Bells Podcast. Ding, ding, ding. I'm glad I could make it. I got off work and I was like, oh shoot. Anyways, here I am. And shout out to us listeners. Don't we look good?
Yes. Yeah, I knew you was gonna do it, Shane.
There you go. That's for you, Spot. That's for you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in and leaving a message, sweetie.
So, fellas, we got SmackDown coming up. Shane, since this is your show, I'm gonna just thank everybody that's been listening to us. I'm gonna thank you guys. Bless y'all, love y'all, and can't wait to see y'all Friday night. I'm out.
It's your homie, Shane O'Mac, saying thank you so much for joining us. I'm here coming to you live from the East New York section of the Three Bells podcast table. Saying thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you, everybody that left messages. Thanks to my homies, Mundo, a.k.a. Mr. A.K.A., as well as the cool man himself, Triple J. And I will see you, hopefully, this Friday night for a very special edition of SmackDown because, of course, The Rock is supposed to return again. So this should be very interesting. Once again, good fight, good night.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your EVP of the Three Bells podcast, your host of Monday Night Raw podcast. Just thanking my guys, Triple J and Shane O'Mac. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for doing this with me night after night. Thank everyone for listening to us and tuning in night after night. We will see you guys this Friday for Friday Night SmackDown and the Three Bells podcast. Thank you very much.
Yes, I forgot to say, it's this Friday night at 10:15. I'm sorry, this Friday night after SmackDown, 10:15. And don't forget, you can catch us on our YouTube page, the Three Bells podcast page on YouTube. Good night.
Yeah.
And as always,